quiet. Yesterday, Tripoli was quiet. Schools are open, banks are open, people are out. Normally, life is normal here.
The Western world saw it differently.
It is U.S. policy that Gaddafi needs to go.
By the end of February, sanctions were imposed and Colonel Gaddafi's assets frozen. The first attacks on Libya came on March the 19th. French, British and American forces fired more than 110 missiles at Libyan military assets. Days later, NATO took over the mission and on April the 30th launched a missile attack that killed Gaddafi's youngest son and 3 of his grandchildren. The Libyan leader's base of support began to crumble amid political defections and increasing international support for the rebels' transitional council. By late June, the International Criminal Court had issued a warrant for the arrest of Gaddafi for crimes against humanity. Remaining defiant, on August the 15th, Gaddafi made a speech urging Libyans to fight opposition forces.
The end of colonization is soon. The end of the rats is also soon.
But the rebels advanced on Tripoli.
Tripoli, not Gaddafi! Gaddafi died!
And a week later, stormed his compound to find it abandoned. The capital had fallen, and the new interim government took hold. But the battle was not yet won.
It is true that our youth led this revolution, and they were its fuel, and they were responsible for it up till now in fighting fronts, and the Libyans won't forget this achievement done by the youth who are still paying respects to the martyrs among them in this blessed night. We wish their injured a fast recovery, and to our committed rebels, the glorious victory.
Throughout September, they advanced on Gaddafi's remaining 3 strongholds, Sabha, Bani Walid, and finally, the deposed leader's hometown of Sirte. This week marking the endgame, as the last of Gaddafi's loyalists were overthrown.
Well, Colonel Gaddafi is known for his bizarre dress and shameless embrace of terrorists. In a meeting built on curiosity and a fair presence, CNN Jonathan Mann sat down with Colonel Muammar Gaddafi in 2006, and the former Libyan leader left quite an impression.
He was the strangest head of state I've ever met. Muammar Gaddafi received me several years ago for an interview in a large tent in Tripoli, a then quiet port city where just about every billboard and sign was painted with his picture. Ronald Reagan once called him a mad dog, and Gaddafi's behavior was indeed particular. He was famous for his flamboyant dress, his legion of female bodyguards, and his bizarre fixations, such as a plan to abolish Switzerland. In person, he seemed lethargic. His eyes, even behind sunglasses, seemed unfocused. His answers through a translator seemed rambling. We never saw the female bodyguards, and his clothing was relatively low-key, a camouflage shirt festooned with maps of Africa. But that fly whisk never stopped flying. Libya today is in transition. Its revolution has triumphed, and its people are demanding democracy. But when I brought up democracy, he threatened to sue me for slander.
If you or somebody else says Libya is not a democracy, he told us, then it would be considered an insult, and maybe we could go to court to redeem honor from that insult.
Back then, Libya was a rogue state trying to redeem itself. It had surrendered its most dangerous weapons to the West. It was trying to open its economy to the world. Its leader was the wild card, the unpredictable element. Now he's gone, and Libya's future is the big unknown.
We take another break. We'll be right back. Before we end this edition of the news, a recap of our top stories. The Chambers of Commerce of the Gambia and the Senegalese region of Casamance have sealed a trade and investment agreement. Stakeholders seeking to give the Gambia's veterinary services a shot in the arm have been meeting to dissect a study commissioned by the FAO. Youth and Sports Ministry officials storing farms cultivated by the youth of the country have described the venture as a success. And unconfirmed reports are speaking of the possible killing of two of Colonel Muammar Gaddafi's sons hours after Gaddafi himself died in Syria. You can also follow that story on other GRTS programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio Live. That's it for this edition of the news. Thanks for watching and enjoy our programs.
Go discover the smiling coast of Africa. Go discover the smiling coast of Africa.
Prophetic herbal treatments habatu sauda sinya follow Gambia banko kan min yalon ko ka jaralo ke nin kila Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ala jaralo silula ika fame habatu sauda dunia karodo la ika faye black seed mensiata sanji wuli fula keme luluti mol be jara kangala dunia kono andu ilata ala jaralo la bakel andu yafa ko kila Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ake jara nun nyimboro habatu sauda yafa ko aka kurango sifa bele jara fo sata kurango de nyin habatu sauda boro isami nyaaw nyaranding abuka mantora kudi balola ikafa meye side effects waranto overdose bari nim momo lafta ku ko yolon na nyin habatu sauda boro la koto dukare tela kundal to men yalon ka be janjanding Gambia banko kan wol kono ila head office o wala muy la bunda bayinti abe Churchilltown isansero nyaatili wala gamtel office o dalaje ila bunda do be Kairaba Avenue opposite post office ni wala hani bi ise kacha nyoyano telephone to 995-4919 wala hani bi 695-4919 wala ni nombal membe alkeja la screen obal prophetic herbal treatment habatu sauda inatale pour kamulu jar
baɗingol mbal konto nakkale bisimilla allah programme to kacca murtanan janne bi fana al baɗi malen Ousmane Faye al kanunte bi fana kamunta nata ale jang Ousmane Faye ɗum namunan kaca dayele namunan kaca kuŋo fo mole bi sibula drong inin baɗingol ño konton
mbena dimbal konton na be president o konton na ko ha mbuka wotu koma yo niate konton ya Gambia bele konton be kafol konton na min ya mutafati min ya ila kafoto la nyim programme wala be konton na man futano mo bele de because of time o be nyamin ani na do ko be nyamin bari ngalo mbakata la nga futa nyimbe
azi mo kilim fanan tumando fanan wati o wati nim programme be ke ka sin call banna be call la janna be dat la fa sin call asin nyinin ka programme kana la
ha
abe banna fana sin call Suleiman Gassama State House ha fana munim programme o kanunde balde konsi of tandi manu anyhow prodro sabulande la konton
ha Suleiman Gassama State House mba fana konton na bake ana do ko nyol mini bebe je be Ibrahima ba konton na mba fala hanibi karmo ya ngadi ala de ha salon nyama kewa bin na kacha mansialem du ngalo mansia kule mi yalon koy fawo ka moyle ko ala